Hey everyone, welcome to JoJo's World.
A good King of Day fighters to you, sir, for it is the day of King of Fighters.
Technically a
do.
sentence.
I guess.
I'm
yeah.
Liam S. Smith, one of your co-hosts.
And I'm Nick Ballantyne, the other one of the co-hosts.
This is JoJo's World, our JoJo's Bizarre Adventure recap and discussion podcast, where today we are recapping and discussing not one, not two, but 3 episodes of King of Fighters Destiny, the second in a row of video game adaptations that we're doing, because apparently that's what we do now.
We have the biggest crossover nerd fan base that you could possibly hope for, you know? We got JoJo's, which is clearly just a giant music reference. We have Castlevania, which is clearly just a giant video game reference. Now we have King of Fighters, which is also a video game reference.
Which is soulless and empty.
But my god, is it good?
I'm Liam S. Smith, one of your co-hosts.
You already said that, and I'm Nick Ballantyne, the other one of the co-hosts.
Great.
Excellente.
End of podcast.
Right, and I'm Nick Ballantyne, the other one of the co-hosts.
So, Nick.
Yes.
Nick.
Yes.
King of Fighters, Destiny.
Where is Terry Bogard?
He's around, he's up in the mix.
But where is he?
We don't have any new Patros today?
No,
Okay,
less.
great. I love it.
We,
I love how people can't afford to support us right now because of the collapsing global economy and the pandemic.
yeah, it's not even
I
that...
love that.
It's not even that big of a problem. It's just like, oh, okay, we haven't got anyone new. Because...
I mean, we're still covering our costs for the year, so...
Oh, God, yes. Oh, God, yes. Which is okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, patrons.
Hey, I'm going to take a brave stance today and thank everyone.
The fuck is wrong with you? What do you think this is?
Oh.
We're not just giving this shit. No.
So
put the hands
brave.
down. Put them down.
That's right,
Don't-
everyone. Today I'm giving each of you all your own individual stand messages.
What is going on? We don't have time for this. Do you know how many people that is? That's like 6 billion people.
Nick,
We start with Aaron.
when Aaron A. Aronson. Nick, I've got 2 things I want to talk about before we jump into recap and discussion mode today.
Hit me.
The first is a thought I was having about this past week about this show versus Castlevania, like the different approaches they're taking. Because what really struck me, and I assume it's going to stay the same, but I might be surprised. But the way in which Castlevania was very much attempting to be a show with legitimate themes and had, was trying to say things to varying degrees of success about
Evocative characterization.
about like the nature of revenge and trust. Season 3 very much a trust theme season.
Yep.
And obviously it's huge hate on for organized religion.
Of course.
Whereas I'm entirely expecting King of Fighters Destiny to be entirely devoid of any deeper meaning. And that's
Good. It's great.
well, it's not necessarily good, but I think it's a refreshing change of pace to just watch something entirely puerile once in a while.
This is like you've gone to high-class restaurants for 10 years. Never once have you deviated from these high-class... There's like 3.
Yeah, this is
right?
and this is an abrupt pull into the McDonald's drive-through on the way home.
And suddenly you have like a thick shake and you're like, oh God, yes, I needed
Put
this.
that Big Mouth in my Big Mouth. Put that Big Mac in my tummy.
You're at the drive-thru. It's like, good morning, sir. What can I get you? Can you get me a Big Mouth? I'm sorry,
What?
we don't.
Oh,
sell-
you want to watch Netflix's Big Mouth
No,
by
no.
Nick Kroll
No. I want a Big Mouth. I want Nick Kroll's Big Mouth.
on
if
my
you,
mouth.
If you can do
I
that
actually don't like
specifically,
him very much.
that's probably on purpose. He does a very good asshole character.
No, not as a character.
Oh, well, touche.
Nick, the other thing that I wanted to talk about today before we get into it is inspired by my revolutionary famous tweet, put Bruno in arms,
Okay. Yep. go
because
on.
he's got all those zip sprunky attacks.
Where is this going, Liam? Where is this going?
What of the big fighting game franchises we can think of in these subsequent moments, what JoJo character would you like to see in each of them?
Oh God. So are you saying what would I like to see?
So
in
an example that I think is a good one to start us off. Obviously, put Bruno in arms, but I
course.
think for one, Dio in Mortal Kombat would be a good fit.
Yep.
And of course, his fatality move would be jamming his fist right through your chest and out the other side.
Amazing. Jotaro would probably be really good in Street Fighter.
Oh, yeah, I think that's a
because
good
he's
choice.
a young delinquent. Mm-hmm. Who would
He'd really fit right in with Ryu because he looks exactly like him.
Yes, he would be like the dark counterpart that is an evil like Akuma.
Yeah,
Is it Akuma? I think
Yeah.
it's Akuma.
that's a guy.
Yeah, you'd probably have to have someone like I'm trying to think Tekken here.
Yeah, Tekken. Is that a young Joseph Joestar would fit in pretty well?
Maybe, yeah, possibly.
Or Jonathan Joestar?
No, Jonathan would be more of a King of Fighters guy. Sure.
Oh, okay.
Simpler character, like
Pure of heart.
pure of heart. He's just a normal, everyday guy.
Yep.
Blaz Blue.
No, what was the one we were struggling on?
Tekken.
Yeah.
I reckon Joseph would be a good fit in Tekken because Joseph can
Or would
actually
Joseph
fight.
be better suited for Smash?
Ooh, Joseph might be better suited for Smash because he has a lot of items.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so he's probably better
Good
for
for
Smash.
those B moves.
True, but then who's like a good martial artist kind of guy for
Tekken.
For Tekken.
Huh.
Yeah.
Just thinking about all the JoJo's characters.
Who trained Joseph again?
Zeppeli. No, Lisa.
Lisa could be a good fit for Tekken.
Yeah, Lisa would fit into Tekken.
She has just enough extra to pull it off.
Or Dyer.
Or Dyer.
The
But
guy
let's-
with the one attack who uses his attack and it never works.
yeah, but then you'd always lose in Tekken. I don't want to lose in Tekken.
Polnareff into Soul Calibur is an easy
course.
fit.
Of course.
And who would go into Blaze Blue X Persona cross tag battle?
Because we just got to nip all of that in the one game to avoid all of the lore of BlazBlue. I reckon a good one would be...
I mean, any stand user is an easy fit into Persona, really.
Yeah, into Persona... Well, not really. Anyone from high school, from like part 4, is a
No.
good fit.
Josuke, Okuyasu,
Yeah.
Koichi.
Exactly. Koichi would be a perfect fit for the Persona 5
I don't
game.
think Koichi is a fair to pick because he's so small, so his hitbox is that much smaller.
All right, Yoda, calm down.
It's like how I think it was in. I may or may not be correct on this, but I think in the Heritage for the Future Part 3 2D fighting game from like the 90s or whatever, Iggy and Pet Shop both had very small hitboxes on account of being small animals.
Yep, that tracks.
Which JoJo character would you put in that game?
But Liam, they're already there.
Oh.
Wait, which parts? Does it go up to part 3?
That one is just Part 3.
Just part 3. What other part character would you put in there?
Giorno Giovanna.
Interesting. Why Giorno?
He's stylish.
True, he is stylish. You would put Giorno Giovanna into fucking BlazBlue.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He's
you
got
would.
enough stupid bullshit going in with his
Exactly.
attacks that you could do mad BlazBlue combos.
You're like, wait, but we're traveling through time. And Giorno's like, that's the secret. We've always been traveling through
Mister
time.
would also be a good fit for BlazBlue because they got all those gun attacks in some of the characters in that game.
Mister.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, that'd be good. Shit, the entire crew would be good in BlazBlue.
Are there any other good fighting games that we know of? Who would you put? Okay,
I was going to say Samurai Showdown.
stick with
but-
me. Who would
Yeah.
you put in Armjo, the anime fighting game based on Les Mis? We've talked about Armjo before, right?
Have we? Have we ever talked about this?
Surely we
mysterious-
must have.
Have we ever discussed
And
the
there's-
mysterious hacker Armjo?
You know, I don't know what that is.
You know the mysterious hacker 4chan?
No.
That someone.
Is that like a
It's a Fox News bit where they were like, "Who is the mysterious hacker 4chan?"
Okay, I was going to ask if it was like a Ghost in the Shell standalone complex
Oh
thing.
god, no! Oh god, no!
What's the name of the guy in that? Mr. Smiles? Or
Oh, the Laughing Man.
yeah, that's it.
Mr. Smiles.
Mr. Smiles.
Mr.
He hacked my
Smiles.
eyes.
He hacked my face. What did he do? He made me smile a lot. It was really irritating. I don't remember my
So
family.
Armjo, you've got Jean Valjean.
Okay, yes.
You've got Javert.
Yeah.
You've got Eponine. You've got Enjolras.
Who the hell is Enjolras?
He's the leader of the Friends of the ABC, the revolutionary movement that build a barricade and then all die.
This is a weird DK rap
Got
parody.
Marius Pontmercy, whose special abilities involve all of his dead revolutionary friends because he has a song about Survivors Guild.
Is he the one who has the song where he's like standing over their bodies and just being like, "Oh, they're all piled up here, but I'm gonna keep fighting"?
No.
Okay.
Well, the song I'm thinking of, he's in the cafe they used to all hang out with and he's like, "This is where my friends used to sit. And now they are not here because they're dead."
I don't remember him. Okay, cool.
He marries Cosette.
Oh, and then what's her face is all like, "Ah!"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eponine.
Ebony.
Of course, Les Mis isn't only a musical, it's also a novel by Victor Hugo, but I mostly know it as the musical. But on ABC iView, I think it's a BBC production, there's also a dramatic adaptation of Les Mis.
Yeah, from America.
Oh, I thought it was a BBC thing.
Is it a BBC thing?
I assumed so.
I have no idea.
Of course, Les Mis is French. This is our Les Mis discussion podcast.
About a Japanese show, King of Fighters.
Yeah. And I just want to circle back, of course, there is also Robo-Jean.
Robo-Jean?
Yeah, in the game.
Who the hell is Robo? Oh, is he the last?
He's Robot Jean Valjean.
Is he the end boss?
Actually, no, that's the personification of the concept of justice is the end boss. Oh, actually, also, just bringing it back to JoJo for a sec, Cosette is very much a stand user sort of character in that game.
Yeah.
Because all of her attacks are standing there and looking distressed, and then Jean Valjean leaps in from the side and does attacks for her.
I was just thinking, the end boss, the personification of justice, would just be like, at first, it's literally a statue of justice. Cracks emerge, justice pops out, rips off the blindfold, picks up like a musket, and is
Justice was, of course, if I remember correctly, Enya and her fog monster.
Yes.
I suppose ultimately, if I had the choice, I would put George Joestar the First in that game.
Well, that's pretty fitting. You know, that's like of the time.
Yeah.
I guess? But at the same time, wouldn't you also want to put,
Speedwagon? Speedwagon would fit in.
Speedwagon would so fit in. He'd be about all those values.
Yeah,
and like,
down in the street, look down, look down.
Yep, that'd be nice. You could put Zappelli in there as well.
True. I just like Les Mis a lot.
You seem to circle back to it a lot.
I've been listening to it a bit lately.
Oh, interesting. You know, Hamilton's coming to Disney Plus.
It's already out.
Shit.
I've soured on Hamilton since I learned about Lin-Manuel Miranda using the fame he got from it to basically advocate for the massive corporate exploitation of hurricane-ravaged Puerto Rico.
Oh no, that's not good. But you know what we're here to talk about?
King of Fighters.
King of Fighters. We spent 15 minutes talking about any other fighting game other than the one we're meant to be talking about. But King of Fighters Destiny.
Episode 2.
So, we watched this episode last week.
But we were going a bit long.
So we were like, we'll just do it next week. So this week, we were like, we'll just watch another one and then see how it goes. And
then that one was 9 minutes long.
It was literally 9 minutes long. So we were like, no. Let's just watch another one.
Yeah.
So we're going to try and get through 3 whole episodes of this breakneck paced show.
Yeah. So, Team Japan are in America, Southtown. They've left the airport, and Benimaru is like, hey, there's a guy who runs a dojo here. Let's go figure out where that is, and maybe he'll want to fight me, right?
You are frantically looking for images.
Oh, actually, we start off still in the past. It's a continuation of the Terry flashback as dying Jeff is like, okay, so we got a new terrifying revelation about the Jeff House mailbox this week. More on that later. Makes me so glad that we watched these 2 episodes in the same week.
Oh my God.
So dying Jeff is on the ground and young Terry and Andy are like, Father, no, you're dying. And he's like, Terry, you and Andy need to go and live for me. And go see the martial arts master Tung Fu Ru and learn martial arts so you can kill Geese Howard.
And Terry obviously is like,
but Dad, what about you?
And so Dad's all,
he does that thing where he reaches out for Terry's face presumably to stroke his face in the same way that the guy from Face Off strokes his kid's face. But then his arm falls down in that dramatic fashion, signifying that he is dead. And it's suddenly raining, and they're out in the rain, and they're like, Father, no.
Terry, I believe at this point, he holds onto his cap that he got for his birthday. He like stands up, turns around.
Well, Andy is full of fatal fury and is like, I'll friggin' kill them! And Terry grabs him and is like, you can't even beat me up, because he pushes him over. He's like, you can't even beat me up. How are you gonna beat them up?
God, you can't beat Geese being such a wimp. Come on.
Crucially, Andy calls Terry a coward at this point, which will come back later.
Because he's not willing to go and fight Geese right now. Because he doesn't want to die.
Yeah. I suppose we were talking about the meaning of fatal fury last time. I suppose in a certain sense, Andy is filled with that very fatal fury right now. Because if he went to go fight Geeks full of wrath like this,
he would die.
Yeah.
Just immediately.
And he needs to go and train so that when he brings that fury as an adult,
He really
it will be fatal to Geese.
Excellent.
And he will fall off his big tower and die.
Or so we hope.
It's been 10 years since that day, and now I'm Terry, and I'm staring up at Geese Tower, foreshadowing things to come.
My father's grave is still right here next to me. I'm standing by it.
Here in Southtown, USA.
Yep.
So as I mentioned before, Benimaru and Team Japan are like, oh, we want to go to this dojo and fight this guy. Don't be sure to clap when I win, guys. It's me, Benimaru. Everyone loves me. They get to the dojo. It's a very traditional looking Japanese building just in the middle of an American town, and a bunch of men in suits run out of it and like get on their motorcycles and peel out. And a guy, we get a big flash of his title card, Ryo Sakazaki.
Who's this guy?
He looks a bit like Ken from Street Fighter. He was wearing a red gi and he's got yellow swooshy up hair.
I wouldn't call it red. I'd call it legally distinct from red.
Orange.
Yeah. I'd call it definitely not just a red gi.
I'd call it definitely not just Street Fighter guy.
Yeah.
Ryo Sakazaki. Birthplace Japan.
He's still got blonde hair though. I've just realised that.
Could be dyed. Or he could be mixed race. What?
Weird thing to... I mean, he could just have blonde hair.
He could be.
I don't know. Who knows? No one does. Who is Ryo?
Well, his job is dojo master.
That's his job?
Much like Kyo's father.
Big in America.
Likes the motorcycle he restored himself. Tatsumaki, brackets, horse he received.
Okay.
And his friend and sister.
Oh.
Dislikes, pickles. Bugs with a lot of legs.
Like centipedes.
Yeah,
Millipedes.
presumably.
Or geese Howard.
Geese Howard, that bug. His hobbies are DIY carpentry and growing vegetables at home. Man, get you a man who can do everything.
Yeah, no, this guy sounded real like...
Yeah, he's got a complete package.
Yeah.
His favourite food is rice cakes and fermented soybeans.
Ooh, that doesn't sound...
Natto.
Doesn't sound good.
I
But,
think that's a traditional Japanese dish.
Yeah,
which
but-
famously is quite stinky.
I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like that dish.
Oh, Nick, do you care to guess what his forte in sports is? I think you'll be surprised.
Is it kickboxing?
No, it's sumo wrestling.
Ooh.
Wouldn't know what to look at him. He's quite slight of build.
He is. That's a strange sport to take
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, that's really more of a Goro thing, I would expect.
Yeah.
His favourite music is country music.
That I did not expect at all.
So this is another one of the various protagonists who have made their way into King of Fighters. Ryo is the protagonist of Art of Fighting, forming the first half of the Japanese series namesake. The Japanese name of that franchise is Muteki no Ryu, and he is the Invincible Dragon, or
Ryo.
the dragon part of that, I guess.
Sick. Interesting.
You'll never guess this, Nick. Ryo was created as an homage to Ryu from Street Fighter.
What?
It seems like a lot of these characters are being defined by their relationship to Ryu from Street Fighter, because they made Kyo very deliberately to be different
Not
from...
like Ryo.
Yeah, and they made Ryo to be like Ryu. And also, their names are all very similar.
How interesting. Yeah, they're legally distinct from Ryu, but at the same time, a little bit like Ken, kind of.
Artist Shinkiro has expressed he had no trouble designing Ryo in contrast to Robert Garcia due to Ryo's poor state. I don't know what that means.
Okay, sure.
SNK staff members Yuichiro Soeda said that Ryo and Robert's debut was unique to other games based on the company because it did not focus on fighting tournaments, but instead on the duo's quest to save Yuri Sakazaki, which we see a bit of in these episodes.
We're not giving her a thing yet.
No.
We don't have time for her yet. She doesn't have a title card. She doesn't have a hope in hell
So
of
we
getting on
won't
the
do
show.
her bio yet.
Get out of here.
So Ryo's whole deal is that he is the older brother of Yuri and wants to rescue her and also look after his dojo.
Of course.
Yeah.
It all makes sense now.
On Ryo's 10th birthday, his mother died in a tragic car accident. Immediately after, his father mysteriously left their home and left Ryo to take care of Yuri. Forced to fend for himself and his sister's sake, Ryo did this by partaking in construction work and tirelessly strived to defend his family's dojo.
Nice.
Remembering his father's lessons during his training, he also took up street fighting.
Oh my god, it's like they just can't help themselves being like...
This guy is a guy who does everything.
They're just like, you know what, it's not Street Fighter, okay?
But isn't it?
It's not Ryu, it's Ryo.
At first he did poorly, but after many years of persistence and learning the true meanings behind his father's teachings, he got better. These meanings included, a man's strength cannot be known only by his fist, and real strength must be felt through the mind and heart. It's all very typical
Philosophical.
shonen protagonist stuff.
I like it. I like it.
Oh, okay. So, in the first Art of Fighting, Yuri is kidnapped by Mr. Big, a local criminal mastermind of the dangerous city Southtown, on behalf of Geese Howard.
Oh, interesting.
And that's probably what we're going to see in this.
All right.
Great. And now you know the rest of the story.
Wait, but the story only just began.
And now you know. So Rio is chasing all these thugs away from his dojo.
Rio.
Yep. And
We're going to do that a lot.
they all get onto motorcycles, and then he gets onto a motorcycle and tries to pursue them, and he revs it really hard, and
The rev handle.
just falls off, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna run after them.
Typical American shit.
Stop right, and he runs away, and the one guy who was left on the ground, the one mook who was left on the ground, is like, as Kyo, of course our Japanese protagonist, stands above him and is like, hey, I got some questions for you. What's going on?
And the guy's all like, I ain't telling you nothing.
And then Goro looms over him with his big Japanese sandals, and he's like, I'll tell you anything you want. And then they all take a cab to the foot of Geese Tower for the next scene. They arrive there before Rio, who left on foot but is now riding a very small bicycle.
I didn't even piece that together. He didn't get a bicycle when we last saw him.
He got along the way, very Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. When we say small bicycle, it's
Like a child-sized bicycle.
It reminds me of some movie, but I can't remember what it is, where someone has a bicycle like that and they have to... It might be like Monsters, Inc. or something. I don't know. But he basically has a bicycle that's like for a small child.
Yeah.
And he's just like...
So they're all the people who were just outside the dojo are now all just outside Geese Tower. And now another man is there too. And we see him slam his big red pole into the concrete for the first of many times. His name is Billy Kane.
Billy Kane? He's wearing a bandana?
He's wearing like an American flag bandana and a leather jacket.
Ooh.
So we see this guy smash his pole so many times into the street in these few episodes, and I really wanted them to do a wide shot of just outside Geese Tower, just having all these potholes.
Well, I mean, Geese is a very rich man. He'd be like, fix that.
That's true.
Fix that. Fix that.
You remarked to me when I was watching it, like, wow, the street breaks here really easily.
It really, like, that is made of wood, and they're just like, wazum, like 8 times.
Wazum, Billy Kane.
Who's Billy Kane? Title card. Billy Kane is...
Billy Kane hails from the Fatal Fury franchise, much like Terry Bogard.
Of course he does.
His job is Geese Howard's personal attendant. He likes his kid sister Lily.
He's from London.
Billy and Lily Kane, okay.
Nice. Billy and Lily Kane.
Mm-hmm. He just likes orders.
I'm gonna be the assistant of Geese.
But don't you tell me what to do, Geese.
Okay, weird choice of dislikes.
Also dislikes dirty clothing and cigarettes.
Fair.
Can you guess what his hobby is, Nick?
Is it fighting or getting into scraps?
Nick, his hobby is doing laundry.
These are very interesting
These are very
characters.
idiosyncratic characters,
They
aren't
really
they?
are. These are very, like,
I
well
can't
thought out.
I can't wait till we have the episode, like 6 episodes down the line, where it's all the characters engaging in their downtime, and it's just Billy in the laundromat being like, "Oh, yeah, this stain's gonna come right out."
And then someone walks up and is like, why are you spraying vinegar on that? It's like, well, it's quite simple, really. The vinegar will break down the enzymes.
I love the moment when I get to add the fabric softener.
He's just looking into the dryer and just smiling and nodding, going, oh, that's going to
Yes.
come out great.
For, like life, the laundry is, I don't know, some bullshit.
Much as the dryer spins, so too do we spin the spiral of death and
So
life.
too do I spin my staff in battle.
It's the philosophy, the way of the London Billy Kane.
His favourite food is egg dishes, and his kid sister's cooking. Aww.
Don't give me that. Don't give me that. Oh, no, he just likes egg dishes.
His forte in sports is pole vaulting, makes sense, he fights with a big
Fair
pole.
enough, fair enough.
And his special skill is playing long guitar solos.
Is this going to come up later?
Now, you know it's not being in a band or anything,
Yeah.
or it's playing long guitar solos. So I like to imagine that he's much like Jack Black's character in School of Rock.
He's just
consistently ruined every band he's been in through his love of long guitar solos.
I remember back when I was in a band, we were auditioning people. One of our friends, we got him in for like one session to be like, let's see how he is. Literally, he played like a 20-minute guitar solo that was like,
Well, that was very much in line with the philosophy of your former band, wasn't it?
no, it wasn't.
Oh, okay.
Because we were like, let's do some riffs, let's do some like actual songwriting. And then like this was pre when we formed the band. This was when we were still auditioning people.
Right.
He came in, he was like, yeah, I'm really into like Tool. Here's my like pedal board, and he was like super into effects and then just laying one note for like 2 minutes. We were like, yeah, you might not be a good fit for us, man.
Okay.
So, yeah. And he was like, yeah, I agree. We were like, cool.
And finally, his fighting style is Bojutsu, which I assume is
Bojutsu?
fighting with the staff.
Ah, Bo.
And his name is Cane, which is like another word for a piece of wood that you hit people
I
with.
get it now, because he's Billy Kane.
Oh, apparently his family name Kane is meant to be pronounced like Con or Khan, as in James Caan, an American actor.
What? Khan.
Yeah,
Billy
Caan.
Billy Khan. That is a dope artwork, though.
And that's basically his whole deal.
He has nothing important right now. He's just there, being
Yeah.
Geese's.
So Rio rocks up and is like, Billy, get out of my way. Stop protecting geese. And Geese is like, nah, I'm going to keep protecting geese. And they fight, and he does like staff combat, you know.
Rio holds his own against him.
Yeah, and the staff, it's like both a longbow staff, but also one of those
It turns into-
chain connected.
Yeah, it turns into 3 staves.
Yeah. There's a word for that, but I can't remember what it is. There's a couple of like CIA mooks there. who-
We cracked up
yeah,
at this.
this is a good moment. One of them goes to get out a gun and is like, hey, I'll just fucking shoot that guy. There are no cops in Southtown. And then Goro is behind them, and like a cartoon character, he clonks their heads together. No interfering with guns. This is honorable king of fighting.
And then nearby, 2 other guys are just like whistling, being like, "Oh no, we weren't going to shoot him. We're not going to put
Kyo
our
is
guns."
like, come on, guys. Let them king of fight.
Let them fight King.
Oh, so we haven't talked about Billy's appearance. He's wearing that. He looks like Bandit Keith from Yu-Gi-Oh!
Okay. He's wearing that bandana.
Yeah, and he's
which
wearing a
now that
leather
I-
jacket.
Now that I look at it, might actually just be a Union Jack rather than an American
Oh, true,
flag.
true.
Yeah.
You make a good point. So I want to draw attention to his leather jacket, which is navy blue. It's got like an icon in the background with text above and below. Below the text is the future is now, which is like the SNK slogan. But above it, it says "real bout." And there was one scene later in this series of episodes where I could have sworn for a second it said, what did I think it said? Real soup.
Yeah, real soup.
Yeah,
And I was like,
that's
do you mean real bout? And you were like, yes. Yes, I do.
Billy Kane, known for his famous slogan,
Real soup. Real soup Kane.
Occupation, soup magnate.
Why,
It's real soup.
why are you working for Geese? Well, you know,
Oh, he's got good distribution.
you've seen his food trucks. He owns the hotel. I can learn a lot about soup from working there. Best chefs in town.
Billy Kane here.
Jeez.
I'm here to advertise my new line of soups. Famous fighter Billy Kane from the King of Fighters tournament, sponsored by Billy Kane's Real Soup.
Hello and welcome to Breaking News
It's
TV.
real.
Welcome to Breaking News TV, where we have the latest soup news. Billy, tell us about your real soup. Why is it breaking market trends? Hands over mic.
It's me, Billy Kane.
Incredible news stories.
Everyone realizes Benamaru didn't get in the taxi with them, and he's pushing through the crowd of
Other people that
the
have just...
crowd of looky-loos that have come to watch the street fight that's happening.
And they're all like, oh my god, what's happening over there? And Benamaru's like, excuse me.
Excuse me, Benamaru here. Hey, Rio, I was trying to fight you before. Come fight me. And then he joins, then it's a triple battle. And they're both like, is that guy on your side? No, is that guy on your side? Who is this friggin' idiot?
And so now Benamaru's fighting both of them. And they're fighting each other.
Oh my god.
It's a 3-way battle,
Oh my god. Wow, that's Billy, the Southtown martial arts champion.
says Benamaru.
Yeah. Hey guys, fight both of me.
Does he actually say
No.
both of them? Oh.
Kyo has a moment that he obsesses with in his 2 scenes over the next 2 episodes. Wow, there's that guy in the red baseball cap again, watching the fight. Who is he? He seems like a really strong fighter, even though I've only seen him
Twice in my entire
and
life.
all he did was catch some suitcases.
So Terry is standing just in the crowd, looking
Just
down,
not doing anything.
trying not to watch the fight so much as be all like, this is Geese Towers.
Yeah, Geese
I'll
Tower.
come back here one day.
Yeah, maybe I'll come here in an episode or two's time.
I would, wouldn't I?
So there's a joke here where I don't get it.
Yeah, no.
So they're like, I'm Benamaru. Fight me, guys. I don't care if you're Benamaru or Benny Sankaku.
what does that mean?
What's Sankaku? Okay, I've got a response here. I've searched Senkaku and I get Senkaku complex. Browse. What's Senkaku complex?
That looks like an
Whoa,
animal.
that is like some hentai shit.
That is some straight up hentai.
I'm gonna just leave this webpage.
I feel like...
Senkaku 2010. So it's like a Japanese word, evidently.
Okay, but what does it mean? What does Senkaku mean, my friend? Why am I Russian?
So there's a 2010 movie called Senkaku in which Momose, who used to be a street punk, lives with his girlfriend Kayo. Trouble brews for the couple when Kayo's younger sister Momo moves into their home for the summer. Momose finds himself gradually being drawn to the free-spirited ways of Momo.
Oh, interesting.
Is this like some gross shit?
Is this some weird... Hang on. Liam, I got bad news. We're not going to find the answer here.
Well, according to definitions.com, it's a 2010 Japanese film directed by Keisuke Yoshida.
God damn it.
Urban Dictionary?
Inside
No,
Senkaku.
that was about, like, sex stuff.
Excellent.
Don't need that.
Liam, you're never going to find the answer. You're never going to find it.
I need to... I need an answer.
Liam, your veins are showing.
English meanings. Triangle. Triangular. A three-sided polygon.
Is it because it's a three-way fight?
I guess, and he's like, he's Benny Sankaku because he's making it three ways?
I guess. Yeah, okay, sure.
Is that funny?
I don't know. I don't know.
Anyway, he's like, don't give me a lame name like Benny Sankaku. I'm Benamaru. I'm cool. Look, I can do like lightning punches. And he does.
He, like, knocks down
Yeah,
someone?
Billy goes flying. And they're like, wow, I sure did try to block that lightning with my staff. And he gets blasted away. And then
He does the weird kicky thing.
Benamaru and Rio are gonna
yes.
punch each other, and then it's like intercut of them doing like big wind-ups and running at each other, and they go to punch, but then Kyo is standing between them and he catches both their punches with his arms outstretched. And I realized, I remember remarking this to you when we watched it last week, like if they had done those two punches without him standing there, they would have just been way too far away from each other.
It's just it's a beautiful pose because they're like outstretched already.
Yeah.
And then Kyo is outstretched holding each other back.
Directly between them. So it's like, that's social distancing right there between the two of them.
That's like a meter and a half,
Yeah.
maybe 2 meters between them. And then everyone just stops fighting.
Yeah. Let's focus on Billy right now. Oh, but we're not done fighting. Oh, I'm gonna go tell Geese. I'm telling.
And I think Kyo's like, don't do that.
Yeah, Kyo's like, tell Geese he can't stop us from entering the King of Fighters tournament.
The King of Fighters tournament.
Oh my god. If you want to fight me, get Geese via Billy, get in the ring. Anyway, I'm Kyo. Oh great, I'm Ryu.
You mean Rio?
Yeah.
You're gonna do this a lot, Liam.
This is Goro. They all make friends. Hey, I know you, Goro. You're a judo master. And Goro says maybe the only thing we've ever heard him say, which is, yeah.
I just love that the entire
Which in Japanese,
time...
if I recall correctly, was just like,
Yeah, he literally is like, hi. And that's it.
yep.
Gentle giant. What a lad.
Oh, you're Benny Sankaku, right? Yep, I sure am. Want to come check out my dojo? Yes, we are all friends now.
And then the three of them are all like, oh,
Ha 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 ha. And then Kyo looks back over his shoulder at where Terry was, and now he is not there.
he's gone.
And then
Hard cut to Geese Tower.
Geese Tower. And Billy's there, and he's not wearing his bandana anymore, revealing he's got like a top knot,
Cut? Yeah.
shaved sides. He's got a fade. And then he's like, oh, Mr. Geese. That's me. I'm Billy. Don't bother Sankaku Dojo. What's his name? No, Sakazaki Dojo anymore. All right. So this is where Geese, crucially, as we discussed last week, gets out his iPhone and makes some calls. Hey, it's me. He calls the mysterious military-looking man with the big evidence board we see in the opening, but we don't hear the details of their conversation.
Was he calling him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Geese calls him, and I wanted to talk about this last time. I mentioned this before on my other podcast because it comes up in murder mysteries more often, I think.
Okay.
But I learnt probably in the last few months that Apple, the computer and phone company,
Yes.
doesn't allow villainous characters to use their phones in fiction.
Really?
So
What?
the,
That's insane.
apparently some people tweaked who the murderer was in Ryan Johnson's masterpiece Knives Out when they realised, hey, everyone but this one character is using an iPhone.
Oh my god. That's crazy. What the fuck? Oh my god. So you're telling me Apple will literally stop you from using iPhones in your media
Yeah.
if you're villainous? Is this if they sponsor
like
you or if...
I don't, I'm not a lawyer, but
Yeah, okay,
presumably, when you've used that sort of stuff, there's some degree of
Legality
yeah.
regarding.
Well,
okay.
like for instance, it's like why in media or anyone who's involved in some sort of like public-facing broadcast, if they have a Mac computer, they slap a sticker over the Apple logo.
Yes. Right, I see. That is fascinating to me. That is absolutely fascinating. So anyway, he basically is just like, yeah, don't bother the dojo, have a cool time. That's it.
All right, mysterious military man, good talk. You have a nice day.
And I
Mwah.
think that's the whole episode, I think? Yep.
Episode 3, the short one that Terry's in.
There are 2 scenes in this entire episode. We open outside.
It's nighttime now. They've walked back to the dojo.
Well, the sun was setting before.
I suppose.
Yeah. It's now nighttime. They are walking to the dojo.
Benamaru's all jazzed up. Oh man, we kind of had a fight there. You guys had one more than me, but I'm all amped up now. Anyone want to fight me? Huh? I'm Benamaru.
And the others are like, no.
No, we don't really listen to you when you talk, Benamaru. Anyway, so your move is called oh god, I can't pronounce this. Kouken?
Your move, Kouken.
Means tiger, right? So why are you called the Invincible Dragon? Well, there's a good story behind... Oh, hey, Robert! That's literally how it goes. And then Robert Garcia is there.
Who the fuck
The
is
man,
Robert Garcia?
the single character who's like character model and animation is worse than everyone around him.
I mean, in this episode, it was quite bad. Robert
He looks like such an NPC.
He's been stunned.
Robert Garcia. He's wearing like a purple silk shirt with a white pocket square. He looks so much cooler in his art on the SNK wiki.
Oh my god, he
He
really
looks like
does.
Antonio Banderas.
He does. Oh my god. He has like a vest and
Oh,
like...
but he's from Italy. I assumed from the name he would be Spanish.
No, he's Italian, my man. Come on now. You know Japan love their Italian characters.
Well, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure taught me that.
Exactly.
Robert Zeppeli, Caesar Zeppeli, everyone in
Part 5.
Tonio.
Exactly. Anytime there's anything... Also, Iron Chef Italy. Come on. Everyone loves Japanese characters to do with Italy.
Robert Garcia is Italian. His blood type is AB. His job is successor of the Garcia Foundation. So he's a child of privilege.
Ah, interesting.
He likes collecting automobiles, sushi, his family, and Yuri.
Oh, he likes Yuri?
We could tell from the scene in this episode that he's also involved in the Where's Yuri plot.
Yeah, I guess so.
He dislikes Rakio, which is pickled scallions. Ryu forced him to try it once.
You mean Rio?
Yep.
We're gonna get
Nick,
there.
this man has a hobby that there was a Simpson episode based on.
Okay, hang on. Is it spitting over the
Oh,
side
good guess.
of
It's
the
also
highway?
not steamed hams.
Is it... Ooh. And was it an entire episode?
Yeah, it was an early one too.
Oh shit, an early one.
Like season 2 or 3.
Ooh. It's not gonna be dog races then.
No,
because
not,
that was
not
season
that
1.
early. That's like the first episode.
Yeah, where they get Santa's little helper.
Yeah, crucially. This is our Simpsons podcast.
Fuck, I would do a podcast
There's
about
so
the Simpsons.
many of them.
I know.
Also, I can't abide, like, unless you're someone who's like involved in a production like that, I can't abide recapping discussion shows like this that do comedy, because all you do is just recapping a thing that's already funny
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah.
Like,
What would it be? What was from season 2 or 3? I have no idea. What is it?
producing futuristic concept cars.
What? Oh my god. Amazing.
His favourite food is yakisoba, or fried buckwheat noodles, and sushi.
Nice.
His forte in sports is motorsports, and his fighting
Not a
style...
real sport though.
His fighting style is Kyokugen Ryu Karate. I like how all these guys have a forte in sport that isn't martial arts, even though they're all accomplished martial artists.
Well, you have to have a hobby, you know? You have to have some other thing.
He does have a hobby. It's producing futuristic concept cars.
Yeah, for his motorsports.
Robert Garcia debuted as the Deuteragonist in The Art of Fighting,
Nice.
forming the second half of the Japanese series mainstay as the Raging Tiger, or the Mightiest Tiger. He is the first known foreign practitioner of Kyokugen Ryu Karate.
Karate.
According to Neo Geo Freak, he is visually modelled on Andy Garcia and Steven Seagal.
Who's Andy Garcia?
Andy Garcia
I know that name.
Same. An American actor and director. You may know him from The Godfather Part 3, The Untouchables, Internal Affairs, which I think is what The Departed was based on, When a Man Loves a Woman. In the 2000s, he starred in Ocean's 11 and its sequels.
Oh, maybe that's how I know him.
and recently had a career resurgence in films such as Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, Book Club, The Mule, and My Dinner with Hervé.
Who is Robert Garcia? What does he stand for? What does he do? What's his modus operandi?
He's the only son of Alberto Garcia, a wealthy Italian businessman and best friend of Takuma Sakazaki. Takuma.
Oh my god, that's the guy.
As I surmise, he lived a childhood free of responsibility and privilege. Doted on by his loving parents who catered to his every whim. But he would sneak away from home and go to the dojo.
Nice.
He spied on Takuma and Ryu Sakazaki's training sessions and aspired to be like them. Alberto wanted Robert to focus on his corporate teachings and inherit the foundation, but Robert rebelled, embracing his own ambitions and running away from home.
Classic. So now he's like on the run from his
And
parents.
he learnt karate.
He learned karate. Nice.
Unlike Rio, Robert is a natural ace in martial arts. He's rich, he's good at everything, he makes custom cars.
He's the perfect good boy from Italy. And he knows karate. All I hear when I hear karate is
The SpongeBob thing.
No. There's a guy in Baki who does karate, and he always says, "Yeah." He's like got that like gravelly voice,
Yep.
and he says, "You gotta know karate."
Oh, okay.
But like, I think he does the voice of like a whole bunch of different anime characters. You'd recognize it immediately, but it's like so gravelly. And when he says karate, you're just like, "Oh yeah."
Does he voice American Joseph Joestar?
No.
Senior?
No, I don't think so. I think he's more like he's sort of like more of a Mugen kind of guy.
Okay.
You know, where
Steve Bloom?
maybe I'm not
Does he
sure.
voice Spike Spiegel?
No,
Cowboy B-Boy?
no, he does not. It's much gravelier than that.
Okay. I mean, that guy's got surprising range.
Maybe it is him then. I don't know.
Okay, it doesn't matter.
But damn, when he says karate, you're just like, oh, I'm listening. Oh, I'm here.
So I'm just skimming Robert's bio here, and his whole thing is basically his whole deal is basically just that he's Rio's best friend, and like
He's there for him.
Yeah.
And he likes doing karate.
Robert eventually developed romantic feelings for Yuri,
He likes Yuri.
and would likely wed her if not for Takuma and Ryu, who are overprotective of Yuri.
You mean Rio?
Yeah, who are overprotective of Yuri.
Ah.
She doesn't get a say in it, apparently.
No, of course not. Why would that? This is fighting games. Come on. These are old-fashioned values for old-fashioned people, where arranged marriages are the way to go. Because I think they're more successful than non-arranged ones.
Okay.
You know how it goes when you can't get a divorce. Normally more successful.
So Robert is in this scene, and he's like, Yuri's run away. What?
Rio is shocked.
Here's a video of her being like, Dad. And of course, we know from this quick wiki browsing that she is Rio's sister. So the dad she's talking to in this is also Rio's father. I kind of lost my steam there.
Do you mean Takama? Is that
Yeah, Takuma.
Takama?
Dad, hear me out. My brother keeps trying to stop me from entering the King of Fighters tournament. So
Fuck that
I'm
guy.
running away.
And she did.
Bye.
She literally gives like a
Blah.
Yep.
Face.
Yep, like a tongue stick out, and Rio's all like, "That stupid girl!
Ugh.
I must bring
If
her
she
back.
keeps up like this, she'll never find a husband.
I must bring her back." And then Robert is there being like,
I could be husband. Ben Amari snatches the phone and is like, hey, I bumped into this girl in the airport. She's probably long gone by now. But I'm rich. Let me use
My connections.
We know you're also rich, Robert, but I'm Ben Amaru and I'm rich and special.
"I'm like the richest rich."
Let me call my secretary Rachel, my Japanese secretary Rachel, to sort this out.
You don't know she's
I
Japanese.
know, I'm just pulling.
But what if? And he's all like, "Hey, Rachel, do me a favor, will you? Run these numbers through the system and
Yeah.
see if you can find Yuri."
Meanwhile, Kyo, who apparently hasn't been paying attention to any of this, is, have you guys ever seen a fighter with a red jacket and a red hat? I keep bumping into him and he looks really cool.
"I want to fight him." And Rio's all like, "Can't say I have." We cut to.
Cut to the other scene in this episode. We're in this like swanky looking bar called Zoom.
Your phone is not agreeing with that.
Welcome, happy day.
I think that's just a welcome sign.
Well, there's no other sign on the building, Nick.
That's true. It's just the top bit where you would expect letters to be is just flashing lights.
There's a bunch of people just standing around having a good time until they're like,
Cabaret owner?
so it's a beautiful woman in a red dress who we get like status vibes from. Walks down the
Catwalk,
huge
kind
catwalk in the middle of the nightclub.
Yep.
I thought she was gonna like do a song or something.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's
But
very
she didn't. She just walked over to the bar and sat next to Terry, who, in a bar with like varying levels of like formality in the dress here, is easily the schlubbiest looking guy if it weren't for the fact that he's super cut.
He's downed probably like 8 beers at this point.
Yep.
We can see in the background. And Angelina, the woman in the red dress.
We tried to look her up, but it turns out I think she's only from this series, so she doesn't have any information. The only SNK wiki page on her is in Spanish.
If we're wrong, let us know.
Or don't.
She sits down next to Terry, is all like, "Hey, sir, how
Just
are you
running
going?"
conversational rings about him as he is flummoxed by her beauty, and he stands up and tries to shake her hand, and she doesn't because it's not COVID safe.
It's not that kind of club.
Will you buy me a drink? Oh, sure, yeah, I'll buy you a drink for a beautiful lady. Oh, I'm Terry.
She gets like a gin, and
She leans in close to him, huge close up on her cleavage, and she's like, "Hey, Terry, I feel like she doesn't say his name. I feel like we've met before. Do I know you?" No, I just arrived in Southtown. Couldn't be me.
And then she like goes back to her drink and is like,
This is a nice bar. Oh, really? It belongs to my father-in-law. Geese.
Angelina's father-in-law is Geese.
Oh my god, and he immediately perks. So hang on, Angelina is married, that means,
Yeah.
to Geese's son, which King of Fighters lore leads me to believe would be Rock Howard, Terry's eventual adopted son, but perhaps not.
I don't know.
Unless
It's a very
Geese has multiple children with a significant age difference. Unless it's an arranged marriage, which, as you said,
they last very long these days.
Terry immediately perks up at mentions of Geese, but tries to play it cool, and is like, "Wow, Geese, he's a big shot. Does he often come here?"
And Angelina's all like,
No.
"No, he owns the place, but he's rarely in."
Sounds to me like you're more interested in my father.
And I think Terry's like, "No,
Terry has a very interesting line of dialogue here, which I want to share as a direct quote.
Okay.
He grabs her wrist and says, "Sorry, I didn't mean that. I'll chug this down, so forgive me." And then he chugs his beer,
Literally straight up downs his beer in one hit.
and she forgives him,
We get a shot of the beer.
which is beer, the treasure treasure the life.
Treasure the life. It's got a big keg on it.
Yeah, like a classic like wine cask,
And it's got weird.
just beer emblazoned in it.
Yeah.
Treasure the life.
It's just so silly. And so then Angelina's
You have a
like,
cute cap. Can I have it? No, no one can have my special cap.
Terry like twists it around his head so that we can see it says Fatal Fury.
Yeah.
And Angelina's all like,
I'll buy you a new one instead. And they're flirting, but then Terry has to spring into action and punch a bottle out of the air that was going to hit Angelina.
and so he does like almost dance moves.
Yeah,
with
he
her?
like dips her like you would in like a tango,
yeah.
to avoid a chair that was flying at her. And then while they're in this dip and the whole world stands still as they kiss, and we get one of those like slow pans because it's destined true love apparently.
So Angelina's looking up at Terry as...
Terry's eyes are wide open in the kiss.
So literally it goes from Angelina being like, I can just buy you a... No, Terry being like, I can buy you a new one,
Yeah.
to... Oh my god, a bottle's coming this way. Grab
Punch,
Angelina.
dip,
Punch,
kiss.
dip. And then just Angelina looks up as like, oh, this is the moment, and kisses Terry. And then Terry's like, what the fuck? With his eyes.
Adult Terry hasn't had many scenes in this, but I got the impression they were pushing him as cool. But he's very not cool in this scene. He has no idea what he's doing in social situations.
I mean, socially, sure, but in every other regard, pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, he did punch a bottle out of the air without even seeing it coming.
Exactly.
So
There are some mooks.
Turns out a bunch of mooks are fighting this guy over a lost match of pool.
One of them pulls out a gun and is like, hey, get the fuck out of here, punk. You don't
Calling
deserve
him
to
back.
win this game of pool.
Calling in backup isn't going to change your thing. Accept your loss. You promised to bark like a dog if you lost. And then he's fighting the guys. The guy pulls out a gun, and then Terry punches the gun out of the guy's hand. He's like, oh no, he's got a friend. Get him too. And Terry's like, oh well, time for me to leave. Terry out.
And Angelina's all like, I'm holding you to buying me that new cap.
And he's like, I'm Terry. Burning. And they run out the back door. They chase. And the guy is like, oh, Miss Angelina, I work for you.
and we realize his name is Simon because Angeline's like, Simon, stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it, Simon.
So, 3rd out of 3 episodes today. Terry and the man that we learn is called Joe have run out of the bar all the way into the suburbs to the house that still has a mailbox out the front of it that says Jeff from his childhood.
Now, Jeff has been dead for 10 years?
At least.
And the mailbox is still there. So who owns the mailbox?
Certainly Andy has been in another country and Terry has been.
Flying around.
Yeah.
Do they still own the lease?
Maybe. Do they still pay their taxes?
I guess.
Did a new man named Jeff just happen to move in there? He's like, oh, mailbox already has the right name on it.
Oh, well, I love it. I love the first sight. Come
Don't
on.
love the house, but I simply must have this mailbox.
Yes, me, Jeffrey, and my wife, Jeffaline. We love it.
Yes, and this shall be Jeff House.
We'll name our son Jeff.
Well, of course, my wife is of Hispanic descent, so we should call our son Jefe.
Jefe. Spelled Jeff.
Yes, as is tradition. Wow, we sure did run back here. Yeah, my name's Joe.
Woomph.
Joe
Cuddle Cup.
Higashi.
Who is Joe Higashi?
Well, I know Joe Higashi is just like the third guy in Fatal Fury.
Yep.
And that the impression that I got from this episode is he's very much like Andy and Terry are there for revenge, and Joe is kind of just also there.
I know he's more of a martial artist than Terry.
Right.
But I don't know how much
He's from
more.
Japan. Mm-hmm. He's a Muay Thai fighter as his occupation,
that makes
professionally speaking.
Yep.
He likes himself and his headband. He dislikes dressing up.
Wait, did you say his profession is Muay Thai?
Yeah.
What? Oh my god,
He's a professional fighter.
Nice.
His hobbies are fighting and kenka, which is quarreling or drunken brawling. So fighting and drunken fighting.
So his whole shtick right now is he does fighting
Getting
for
the
a living.
impression he's not a very rich character. He likes the headband that he wears to fight in, and he
Yep.
likes fighting. His favourite food is fried alligator bits.
Because you have to fight the chew.
His forte in sports is all forms of combative sports.
Okay, good.
His special skill is seduce. 99% success rate and personal conversation. 99% success rate and personal conversation.
What? On what level has he tracked this?
99% of the time, it works every time. I'm Joe, and I'm seducing you.
And then you're like, wow, I didn't even realize I
guess
was being
it worked.
seduced. Incredible.
Most unpleasant, dressing up. Favorite music, Da Enka. Don't know what that is. Not going to look it up.
Danker.
Sounds German.
It does sound a little German, doesn't it?
Fighting style, Muay Thai. His official nickname is the Young Champ of Muay Thai.
Nice. He knows what he's about.
Yeah, he
He's
tried to date Lily Kane, a relationship of which her brother greatly disapproves.
Wait, did it work? Are they an item or not? an
Unclear.
item? Ooh.
Look, I'm browsing his page and there's not really a lot to Joe.
There's just a lot of fighting.
Yeah.
And then a lot more fighting.
There's just a lot of doing Muay Thai.
He's very into being a good fighter.
He has some limited aerokinesis, the power of controlling air and wind, as we see in this episode. He seems to have a running gag of sorts where his legend is, quote, just beginning in his endings throughout the series. So he seems to be in a place of, like, perpetual stasis.
He's like, I'm going to be the best fighter there ever was, and now my journey really begins. And then it's like he wins every tournament, and now my journey really begins.
Joe is meant to be a clownish character and a life of the party type. He was modelled after the lead character of Abere Hakachukaku.
Give it to me. Let me have a look at that. Abere Hakat.
Yeah, it's hard, isn't it?
Abere Hakchaku.
The double CH is hard.
Yeah, what's the double C mean?
It's not Italian, so we can rule out the rules we know from...
Yeah.
This took me to a Japanese language Wikipedia page.
Well, that's it. That's all we get on Joe. He's into fighting, he likes fighting, and he does fighting.
So, speaking of fighting,
he's
they
very clownish.
introduce themselves to each other, Joe and Terry, that is, and then immediately Andy leaps out of the sky and starts fighting Terry. What? Like, he just leaps out of the sky, and Terry's like, whoa, attack. They fight, Like, we learn it's a friendly match in subsequent scenes, but they're not holding back. They're doing, like, flame kicks and...
Yeah, so Andy is like blue, Terry is red.
Yeah.
And Andy
They
is
have a
very...
classic Red Ranger, Blue Ranger dynamic.
Andy's very much like structured and kind of like, doing smooth moves, while Terry is very brutish and just going for the punch. And then, whoomph, Andy Bogard, title card, with really dumb looking face.
Yeah. Andy, Terry's brother. We don't care about him as much.
Oh my god, look at him in this actual thing. Resplendent.
His job/occupation is ninja.
I wanted to be a ninja when I grew up.
He likes pictures from his times in training.
Okay, that's very American
Dislikes
Psycho.
dogs.
Fair.
Very American Psycho.
Yeah.
Hobbies, training.
Okay.
He's very much the anti-Terry.
He's very much the anti-Terry.
His favourite food is fermented soybean or natto and spaghetti.
Hey!
Hey! His forte in sports is short track cycling.
Short track cycling.
Yeah.
Is that a joke? Are you kidding me?
Well, he would certainly ride the bicycle better than
Oh yeah, Rio.
Rio.
Oh man.
Special skill, meditation. Most unpleasant, Terry being a better fighter than him.
Ooh.
Favourite music? None. He likes it quiet.
Wow. He likes meditation.
His official nickname is the human weapon or whole body weapon.
That feels like cheating. Like, if you're being like, oh, my arms are my swords, that's cool. If you're saying like, my whole body is the weapon, it's like, okay, slow it down, son. Unless you've got like something inside you, like a bomb, I don't think your whole body is a weapon.
You're taking this much more literally.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you gotta sound cooler than that,
When Geese killed their father, Andy decided to perfect his own martial art over at Japan to differentiate himself from his brother. He was taught the Shiranui Ryu ninjutsu
Sure, I'll believe that.
and a form of empty-handed combat called Kopuken.
Kopuken. He was developed to be lamer than Terry Bogard. The developers often say, we did a really good job on him.
We did a really good job of
good.
making him a sort of lamer, more serious version of Terry.
He still has long hair, but not as cool.
According to Terry's character album, he is well aware of Andy's desires to surpass him and recognizes him to be his greatest living rival. To counter his brother's effort, Terry constantly strives to improve himself by fighting stronger opponents.
I thought that was going to end with, in order to counter him, he often poisons his food.
Here is an interview with Andy from Neo Geo Freak 1998.
Hello, Andy. How are you?
What is your aspiration in this competition? If you don't care about the 2 letters of the championship, it's a lie. I intend to relax enough and come to the tournament.
Wow.
Who would you like to fight the most? My brother. Brother. Who would you like to team up with? Who would you not like to team up with? The one I team up with is Joe, and my brother. However, I feel sorry for Mai every year, so I would like to join with Mai once. We don't know who Mai is yet.
Yeah, I know
Billy
who
is
Mai
the
is.
man who I don't want to team up with.
Ah, classic.
What is KOF for you? I think it's one of the lessons.
Okay, sure.
Finally, please give a word to your fans. Please refer carefully to the result of the lesson well.
What is the lesson?
Who cares? That's Andy. We don't really care about him.
We care more about our friend
Terry.
and lover, Terry.
Wow, it sure is good to hug you again, Terry and Andy.
Yes, it is good to hug you again, Terry and Andy.
Not COVID safe.
Not COVID safe.
So Andy says, Joe heard about our revenge plan and has come to help out. That's kind of his whole deal. Let's go storm Geese Tower now.
And Ben is all like, yeah. No, Joe. Joe is all like, yeah, let's go do that, I guess. I'll follow Andy.
Yeah.
And Joe looks very
Terry is
conflicted.
like, we can't just go straight there now. Wow, Terry, you've turned into more of a coward as you got stronger. Remember how we had that other conversation right in this very street 10 years ago?
That's callbacks.
Oh my God.
That's actual writing in this show.
If you're too afraid, we'll handle this ourselves. And they take 2 steps. Andy, you're impatient as ever. Can't you show some restraint? I've waited 10 years. I can't wait anymore. Hey, wait! Oh my God, we're about to get hit by this huge truck.
That appeared out of fucking nowhere.
And the truck driver says, fools, do you want to die?
Imagine
Big end boss energy from this truck driver.
Imagine if like a guy busts through that door, put an exam on like
What are
your
you
lap.
talking about? What's the door? Oh, the door in the
Yeah,
recording
in
studio.
this room, put an exam on your lap and went, fools, do you want to fail the Prince 2 certification exam?
No. They notice that the truck is hauling Geese Howard Hotel themed cargo.
And then Terry does the most sly smile.
Big sly smile.
Does a little
I'm
smirk.
formulating one of my famous Terry plans.
And then we cut to...
Cut to the other protagonists. Benamaru's drunk and they're carrying him home.
Goro is carrying him on his shoulder. And Benamaru's all like, wow, that was really great. You should
We
get
sure
with
are
me."
looking for Yuri.
Yeah.
And that's basically that whole scene, right? Oh, and also, Kyo is like, Rio says he doesn't know about the man in the red jacket. I'd love to fight him.
That's the whole scene.
Yeah, Terry is now wearing the truck driver clothes and is driving up to the entrance to Geese Tower.
Meanwhile, in the
Joe
back...
in the back is eating all the refrigerated packs of food. And he's like, I haven't eaten. I'm really hungry. Do you want some?
And
No.
Andy is just like, no.
But then after we cut away, then he's also eating.
Yeah.
Classic Andy. But ominous close-up on cargo in the truck, which has radiation hazard warning in it. And I remarked to you, what if they all just died of radiation poisoning?
And I was like, oh yeah, that's in the realm of possibility of the show.
This is the shot. This is the shot as they're pulling up the truck.
Uh-huh.
Where Billy Kane is waiting to receive the cargo. And I swear, that looks so much like it says real soup.
Liam, I have real bad news for you. That definitely says real bout.
But when it was in motion, like that T, the kerning on that T is real dodgy.
Uh-huh. Is it just?
It absolutely is.
It clearly has two sides.
But that could be like a, like one of the fancy, like, I'm standing by it, Nick.
Liam.
Hashtag real soup is real.
Hashtag real soup.
Yeah.
We're bringing it back, okay?
Listeners, tweet at us with your favorite King of Fighters moments with the hashtag real soup.
So, yeah, Billy moves towards the truck and is all like, is everything in order? And
Terry's driving and is like, yep.
And then he goes to check the mook that's at like the door is all like, let me check the back. And Terry's like, hey, let me in already. I haven't got time for this shit.
Yeah, but the
they're like-
back is opening and,
Well, they get let in first.
oh yeah, they're through the threshold.
Yeah, they're through
gonna
the
open it
threshold.
up the back, and they're like, oh no, they're gonna spring us. And Billy's there, and he smashes the concrete floor again, and he's gonna strike them. But then Terry intercepts. Who are you? Says Billy, and Terry's like, who knows?
Wait, what do you mean, who knows?
Who knows? Take a guess, he says.
Oh, well, he really does just say that, doesn't he?
They fight. Everyone gets a good couple of shots beating up a mook to establish their bona fides as mook beater-uppers.
I very much enjoy that you can definitely tell the three styles of fighting they have.
Yeah.
So Terry is like brutishly just punching guys.
He's sort of freestyling.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Joe
He's
is
leaping all around.
Yeah.
He's up in the sky.
Joe's sort of
Oh no,
like
sorry, that's Andy.
Yeah.
Joey is
Joe's like kind of more controlled.
yeah.
But he's still like loose, like not flimsy, but just sort of loosey goosey, controlled chaos.
Terry squares up to Billy and does his signature taunt. Hey, come on, come on!
And you were like, he said it, he said the thing.
And then he catches the staff with just the palm of his hand, even though it appears to be full of fire energy.
And
And they
Billy's like,
fight. A lot of fireballs flying around. Blah blah blah.
they fling each other back.
Yeah, it's all very evenly matched because this show is afraid to make anyone look bad.
Yep. And then
Billy does one of his signature moves, which is emblazoned on the screen,
it is the Shokayan Senpuken.
which is apparently spinning his staff around to make a big ring of fire. And then Terry does his classic power geyser, as seen in Super Smash Bros. The beams collide and make a big collision. And they're like, let's hurry, let's run away. Oh no, big geese energy.
Geese Howard emerges from dark fog.
Wearing like his
Classic.
Japanese mob boss outfit.
So you've got like the big pants that are like real
Big skirt.
Big skirt?
It's like a big skirt.
not a skirt.
Yeah, it is.
It's fucking dope. It's pants.
I think we're gonna have to do agree to disagree on this one.
Okay, all right. Anyway, he's wearing his pants and he's
Which
wearing
I think pairs quite nicely with his armbands. Same red colour, same yellow piping.
Yeah, I think they're gloves.
Oh, so they are.
Yeah, he's wearing his gloves so that no one gets the
they're
fingerprints.
They're gloves that go all the way up to your
Yeah,
elbows.
yeah.
With like metallic braces.
And he looks
And
as evil
and
as
then
ever.
just a basic white gi. Eviler than ever, in fact, because a snake head looms in the darkness behind him like a stand.
And he
Which
just
I
goes-
assume is the Orochi from the opening.
And I think he says, Billy, let them through.
Yeah, let them through, and I'll attack them with my special magics.
The three protagonists, Terry,
They
Joe,
are-
and the other one.
They are buffeted by his dark energy, and much like in every scene of Bleach, they're like, wow, such Reiatsu.
My God,
That's
the power.
everything that happens in Bleach. They walk into a room and then it's like, wow, such energy. Who is this new opponent? And then they fight.
And they win?
Pretty much.
Yeah, fair enough.
You're not going anywhere. Don't worry, guys. I'm Joe. I've got this. He does a move called Screw Upper. And I remark to you, that Joe's a real screw upper. Which
Harsh of you, really.
creates a tornado. And then when the tornado dissipates, they are gone. But we also see they're just over there and running away.
Although it's like, shit, where'd they go? Turn
I
around
feel-
and then just...
Which was funny, but I feel like they didn't mean for it to be funny.
Yeah, they were probably like, oh, they're so far away.
Yeah.
But it was just comical.
Yeah. It's like in any parody martial arts movie or cartoon where someone throws a smoke bomb and then when the smoke is clearing, you still see them just like leaving.
Running away.
Yeah.
It's like, quick FDN, no, let them go. But I can catch it, no, let them go. And so Billy's all like, we have to get them. And Geese is like, no, let them
Unload
go.
the stuff.
Get the stuff out.
I'll
of the
tell you one thing. I don't need a guard dog who has nothing but loyalty to me. Remember that, Billy. And Billy's like, what?
Billy's like,
I'm just over here with my real soup jacket.
it says real bat. It has never said real soup. It didn't look like it said it.
And then we realize a guy who we've never seen before called Clark Still is on the rooftop with like a Bluetooth headset on watching the whole thing.
He's been watching this entire time and
He's
he's
wearing
like,
sunglasses at night. He looks like a cop.
there's been an incident into his little headset.
Yeah. And his handler is like, quit smoking on duty.
Who's Clark Still?
Clark Still is from Metal Slug, apparently.
Holy shit, what?
He likes... his job is Ikari Warrior Lieutenant.
Okay.
He likes his sunglasses. He dislikes slugs. His hobbies are gun collecting.
Wow.
His favourite food, oatmeal. 14 sports, wrestling. His weapon, several firearms during Ikari Warriors. Several firearms, explosives, and a combat knife in Metal Slug.
Nice.
His fighting style is mercenary combat.
Dude, that's dope.
Clark Steele, sometimes known as Clark Still, is a character from the Ikari Warriors, Metal Slug, and King of Fighters video game series. His official nickname is Cool and Tough. Oh, sorry, Tough and Cool.
You had one job.
During the early stages of King of Fighters development, the team intended Ralph and Clark to be shirtless in order to express the feeling of Ikari or rage, but the higher-ups ordered them to update their designs to make them look more modern. To differentiate them, they gave Ralph a bandana and Clark a hat and sunglasses.
Nice. Who's Ralph?
Don't know, don't care.
Excellent.
Not how we do this, Nick.
He doesn't have a title card.
Yeah, exactly. In 1995, Clark got a newer stance and win pose, while Ralph retained his old ones. In every new installment of the King of Fighters series, Clark seems to be further and further differing from Ralph. While Clark is a powerful grappler, Ralph is more of a power player.
Interesting.
Of course.
It all makes sense.
All makes sense.
all comes together.
He's just basically in this scene and his handler is like, quit smoking on duty, and he's like, I'm not. Then there's all these cigarette butts in front of him. Clean up those cigarette butts, says his unseen handler.
And Ralph is, and Clark is just like,
Cliff.
How did he know? Cliff? It's Clark.
I'm checking. Clark.
Come on, Liam. Come on now. I know my King of Fighters, and it's Clark.
And then big red moon in the sky. They've killed Rom the vacuous spider. Madmen have toiled in surreptitious rituals to beckon the moon.
And then we get a close-up shot of Kyo meditating.
Sitting on a huge bed. We're talking queen, king size.
Yeah, I wish I had that size bed.
Meditating and having visions of big snake teeth and yellow snake eye.
And he looks deeply perturbed in his meditation.
Yeah. And then that's the end.
That's the end of the episode. Boom.
Boom. Nick, King of Fighters.
I like it.
What's going to happen next?
No highlights, lowlights?
Oh, yeah, we do that. Highlight, Terry punching that bottle. No, actually, highlight was the kiss where the earth stood still in the middle of a barroom brawl.
Nice. I want to say my highlight just has to be, it's obviously Terry. Terry fighting Andy and just obviously being like,
Oh, you mean Andy abruptly leaping out of the
yes.
sky?
Just that entire scene of just like, hey, Andy's here. Now we have to go fight Geese. Oh, by the way, a truck is here. Just that entire bit. I was like, I'm into this.
Awesome.
Yep.
My low light, I don't care for Joe.
You don't care for Joe,
He has no reason to be there.
but he's friends with Andy.
Yep.
Best friends. He's there for him. He's his buddy.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, my low light is probably going to have to be the entire second episode's animation.
Yeah, it was
when
bad
they-
animation.
It was-
Especially
God.
in the scenes with Kyo and Rio.
Oh my god, it was so bad. Like, we were watching it, we were like,
This is bad.
seems very bad. Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Well, around this time, I would normally ask. Oh, well, first of all, do we want to talk about what's going to happen next, or should we just?
I don't know.
Yeah, they're gonna fight. They're gonna look for Yuri.
Yeah.
They're gonna fight a new guy. They'll probably meet that one woman we haven't met yet.
Mai?
Yeah.
I hope we meet Mai. I want to see what she's
She's
like.
in the opening and stuff.
Yeah, I want to see what she's like.
Geese will have an ominous phone call with that military guy, but he won't do anything for a while yet.
Will we see Rugal yet?
No, I don't think so. Oh, and Terry and Andy and Joe will regroup and be like, whoa, that was too intense. He's so strong. We need to find more allies. I saw some guys at the airport that looked pretty strong.
Ooh, maybe. Or maybe Kyo will just find them.
Yeah. Wow, red hat guy, you look pretty strong.
Do you want to take down Geese?
Do you want to fight me? And then
Do
they'll
I?
have a brief fight and they're like, wow, I sure do respect you now. This show is stupid.
I fucking love it, Liam. I fucking love it.
And I think from next week, we will start adding a segment here where we ask, do we want to keep doing this?
Okay. And I think the answer will inevitably be probably.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you've enjoyed this content, you can support us on patreon.com/JoJo's World.
Yeah.
You can follow mainly Liam on Twitter at JoJo's
Liam
Podcast.
S. Smith.
There's at JoJo's Podcast, there's Liam S. Smith, and me, Milk Juice, with 2 O's. That's me. doing
And
finger
until
guns.
next time, to be continued.